Welcome back. Today we do a quick one on the Meze Audio 105 AERs. So that is these guys right here. And of course, if you are used to Meze Audio, you're familiar with their high quality builds, their unique designs. The 105 is really no different. It is a very high quality build, as you would expect. It's got some distinctive design touches to it. You know, everything that you would expect from Meze Audio on the design part, on the comfort part. You know, all there on 105 AERs, even though they brought the price down a little bit, and we'll talk about where that fits in a second. But, you know, we'll go through this kind of quickly because, you know, from a sound perspective, I think that they can be described in the single word that they use on the website, and we'll kind of get to that in a second. You do get a cable, so this guy right here, I think is probably their standard cable. Maybe it's their standard lower price point cable, but that's about what it looks like. So what is this one? Again, as I said, it has a really typical high quality Meze build and comfort. No different on 105 AER from their other headphones. This one does have a 50 millimeter dynamic driver. It does have the open back design again. And this one is the middle kit. It's kind of priced between the 99 Classics and the 109 Pro. So I think this one is $399. I think Meze, the 99 Classics is just a little bit lower, and 109 Pro is kind of significantly more expensive. So I'll call it the middle kit in between them two. But the way, kind of the first words on the Meze Audio website, they call this one a Lush Sonic Oasis. And Lush is exactly the proper description of the sound signature. It is 100% Lush. It is the only word that you need to describe the sound signature on the 105. So again, I think they really nailed that. We don't have to spend a whole lot of time. Everything that you think of on Lush sound signatures kind of comes through on the 105 ER. It pretty much describes everything that you need to know, but we'll kind of go through some of the finer points of it. So on the sound, this Lush sound does have a lower emphasis. It does sound thicker. It does sound richer. It does have a relaxed upper range. Again, the Lush vocals is the way to think about the 105 AER. And it's almost the headphone version of the Soft Ears Volume S. I think that set on the IM world is having a very similar sound signature, a very lush vocal sound signature. This is the headphone version of that sound signature. And it is another open back that helps keep the bass level in check so vocals shine. Again, I think open back was the right choice on this style tuning. It allows you to have a really nice full bass, a nice full mid bass, but without getting too congested, too bloated, and all those other things that kind of are helped along by having an open back design that is a little bit vented and it controls that kind of bass level. And more general appealing than a 109 Pro. I think the 109 Pro is kind of okay. I think this one hits a more general appealing, lower price point, going to be a little bit more general appealing, a little bit more relaxed in the treble, a little bit bassier. And, I think it is more general appealing if you expect a heavier low end, relaxed upper end set. That's kind of exactly what you get with the 105 AER. And on the bass, I do think the sub bass is a bit lower in level, and then it really thickens into the mid bass, giving that lush tonality to the mids. Again, open back design, the sub bass sort of vents out the back a little bit, and it thickens up into the mid bass, and it does give you that thicker, richer, lusher tonality to the mids. And it's not a heavy hitter either. It does have a thicker mid bass, but I would call it thicker. It's not really a hard hitting set, but very much Lush. Like when you think of Lush, you think of kind of softer, more organic, thicker, richer, as opposed to a harder hitting bass style, and that's not what this one is. But the bass really adds a really heavy body and thickness to the sound, as you would expect it to do. And on the mids, and again, for me, it is the thicker, lush vocals that give the AER, the 105 AER, its really characteristic sound. Sub bass is tilted down, treble is relaxed, the mids have a lot of presence, but they are thicker, and that's exactly what you're going to get. A nice, smooth, rich, thick version of vocals, and that's what you get on the 105 AER. And it's almost the reverse of typical, right? The lower mids, that thickness from the mid bass, that is going to give you a little bit more presence on the lower end. The upper end, I think it's a little bit thinner, so you do have to choose your female vocalists accordingly. I think some are more appropriate or sound better because of the lower their voice is, the more present it's going to be. I think the higher range female vocal is not as nice on this set, but again, think about lush vocals and which female vocalists of your music library have lush vocals versus the ones that are kind of higher in range. The ones that are higher in range aren't going to sound as nice as the lower ones here. And the treble, again, very relaxed treble. It allows for a good amount of volume scaling, again, upwards, like Volume S. Again, Volume S is very much a volume scaling set because it does have those, a really more emphasis in the lower end. The treble, the upper treble is a little bit relaxed. You can turn it up. It doesn't get peaky. It just kind of dials in the mids and the detail in the mids. And that's exactly what happens on the 105 AER as well. You dial in the mids with the volume. Don't worry about the peakiness in the treble. It's not there at all. And then on the stage, again, I think it's better than I assumed. You know, sometimes you get a really thick Lush set like this, and it really feels a little bit too intimate, a little too in your head, a little not really spacious enough. And I think they actually got the sound and the sound staging, and maybe it's the open back, but it does have a mostly around the head, back of the head presentation, all the right places where you should be hearing things. It's a really nice experience, a little bit probably better than I thought it was going to be considering the sound signature. So that is a quick one on the Meze Audio 105 AER. So again, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.